is he?
It's a slow lineup. It's a really slow lineup from Knights. It's Ricky plus Phoenix as a support duo. These heroes are... Sure, Ricky, like one of the reasons why he was picked up a lot in high-level pubs, we see him in some of the pro games, is like he's relatively strong in the lane, sitting at 6 armor, 63 damage. You know, his regen's pretty high. But he's really not that strong.
Right.
Like when in these professional games, like you're not gonna die to Ricky blanking on you and then using a cloud. Like it's very difficult. Phoenix as a laner also, like he needs time, he needs levels. These two heroes rely, Ricky mostly on 15-minute shard. As a Phoenix, you can get it slightly after.
What are you looking for in terms of after that shard, though? After 15 minutes, because you get that sleeping dart, you've got yourself the Ricky. Does he really provide anything other than that? Like, is it just smokescreen dart?
It's smokescreen dart. And one thing I don't like is they don't have a combo. Like, they don't have anything to combine this sleeping dart with, like, literally nothing. Puck going in and using his Vanning Rift and Illusory Orbit. It just doesn't...
Constant with silence?
Doesn't sound good.
And then on the other side, you've got what feels to be a lot more in terms of team fight pickoff and potential, where you've got Rolling Thunder, Avalanche Toss, and Arrow if it's hit, even Starbreaker, Solar Guarding. Like, there's so much here, it feels like, for the side of Xtreme Gaming, where I think the panel put it right. It feels like more of an individual play lineup for Knights.
I want to see how the laning stage is going to go. Like, a lineup from Knights can work if they get it to 20-minute mark without having like 5k gold deficit. It's a lineup that can work. I'm a little worried you are playing Visage plus a Ricky lane. This is not a... And you can see how they're playing on bottom. Like, he's pulling the wave back. He understands that they can't really do much with their two heroes. They just don't have what it takes to... When it comes down to punching back Celestial Hammer against Sniper, like he puts a point in Shrapnel. It's an extra slow, so very difficult lane here for Knights. On a mid lane, it's Tiny against Puck. I want to see, like, Alacrity has been really playing well when it comes down, but he has to carry this game so hard on Puck.
Yeah, the question was asked, what do they have if Alacrity doesn't have a good game? Do you have an answer for that?
I don't. I think if he's not having a good time, so far he's doing good. 8 CS, the only hero he needs to be afraid of is this Tiny, which is considered a counter to Puck, because you always have a kill threat on him. This is not position 4 Tiny, it's a mid Tiny, so his combo, it will be maxed out relatively soon.
Yeah, we'll see when Paparazzi gets there how it's going to go for Alacrity, and I'm wondering how the rotations will be as, you know, PYW on this Mirana, it's one of his better heroes in terms of him on the 4 position. I've seen him have games where he doesn't miss an arrow. I think every Mirana kind of has that, but I feel like PYW is very consistent with this hero.
I can also have a game where I don't miss an arrow if I don't use it. Just don't use the arrow and you will never miss it. Kind of cringe, but it's okay.
I was going to say, I'll ask your teammates, because I've heard your Mirana games are
I have a soft spot for
interesting.
What's wrong with my Mirana? It's one of my better heroes. I'm not sure what you
those
heard about
That's
it.
not what I'm hearing.
Well, people love to lie. So small camp is stacked on top. They will need to clear this camp. JT pulling it. So he wants to do it. Enemy pulling creeps to his camp. PYW, level 2, still thinking about whether he wants to get a Starstorm or he needs a leap. But a pretty smart play here from JT, maximizing the farm.
Do you think he's holding a point just in case like he gets slowed down and needs to leap out of the situation? Just hold it inevitably.
You're playing against Lifestealer. I don't think you're going to be in trouble ever. You're not going to put yourself in a spot where Lifestealer hits you. It's also another weak lane from Knights. It's Lifestealer plus a Phoenix.
Bruce dive all the way away. And then a Swashbuckler just to add a little bit of more damage onto Ego. Ego free farming kind of because of the fact that JT brought that creep wave over. He's pretty strong when nobody's really in his face for the moment, and 19-2. So the CS for everybody is all right. Maybe Ghost struggling if he's 5 behind everybody else, but I think for the most part, things are fine for all lanes at the moment for both teams.
They're more than fine. I think this Pango, who's on top of CS, shows how weak of a Knight's lane is. Pango on the off lane, one of the, I'd say, weaker heroes. Depends on the matchup, but he also did build into Ring of Bassi. Oh, arrow hits top.
Yeah, Ego getting low, in trouble, but fine once he gets under the tower. The trouble was there for a second, but, you know, just walk yourself under the tower. I don't think Xtreme are really looking to dive at the moment. Now has that second level in arrow. We'll see if PYW chooses to maybe throw one over, because hitting Ego from a distance at this health probably secures that first kill of the game. Avalanche onto Alacrity with a toss, but nobody here to help out Paparazzi, just throwing some damage onto this puck. And again, XCJ, he gets low and has to Icarus dive away. I believe that arrow hit as well.
The arrow hit, but not enough damage. Dive. And now they're sitting very low on HP. There's no region left. Phoenix is ringing Tango and healing salve, but PYW understands that he might need to put in some extra damage, extra couple of right clicks.
Let's see if he plays aggressive still, because if he could stop that courier from coming in, Knights are in a lot of trouble in this lane.
They're spamming. A lot of spam. Mana boots 5 minutes into the game.
Take a catapult real easy. And you can keep the push on from Xtreme Gaming and make Knights feel very uncomfortable. Passing over at Tango. Yeah, the regen situation here for Knights isn't exactly great. TP over mid from Felix to refill Alacrity's bottle, who's now level 6. So both these heroes made level 6, and we'll see where Alacrity goes with this, now having the Dream Coil available. He does get the first power rune of the game, which is an illusion rune.
When Felix TP's mid to refill the bottle, he becomes Re-Felix Shoba. So, illusion rune, bottle by Alacrity. You don't... Arrow? PYW is like, yeah, I'm gonna try to hit Puck, but what he wanted was to get some extra gold.
Just hit the catapult.
From the catapult.
Was the arrow aimed at Puck or the catapult? That's the real question. Probably just the catapult. Bottom lane, DUI here, and just getting the pull over. There's so many Visage players in China last year. I feel like that had so many good performances. Old 11 was there. Zeal, who is now back in the SCA region. Always had a good Visage performance. Felt like that was his best hero. And Faith Beyond, of course, a great Visage player as well. And I think this is one of the first or few times that we're seeing Visage in the Chinese region. So
after the nerfs to Raid Pack, this hero, I'm not going to say is dead, because we're going to see it from time to time, but definitely got hit hard by that Raid Pack nerf.
Avalanche onto the Phoenix. Arrow hits with it. Dream Coil's just not in time. They may trade, and it looks like they will do so on PYW. First kill comes out for the Mirana, though. Did it real easy with that Avalanche toss and arrow, and that's leaving JT alone to get some solo experience for the moment.
Once he hits that level 6, I don't think they can kill Ego, but they can kill anyone else who shows up.
DUI missing the last shot on that Starbreaker, but look at the aggression on a flyby while Felix, he's caught in no man's land, jumps back to
Another
DUI.
shrapnel available soon if they want to maybe jump in. Ghost will be ready with that shrapnel.
Felix, lucky he had a jump ready to refresh, as he was in a lot of trouble, and Paparazzi now wrapping all the way around with haste. Flyby, he's in the trees. Obviously, they'll spot him with the creeps catching on to this move, and Flyby just holding his breath. No, not there.
Well, where could he possibly be? There's one spot left that they didn't check.
Hide and seek going really well for Flyby. Just gonna stand still. Stream a bunch of T-Rexes. If you stand still long enough, they can't see. Alacrity comes over, has the Dream Coil, that's on it too. They've stayed really long here on the side of Xtreme Gaming. They're trying to get out, but Ghost He's not going to be fortunate enough to do so. Tricks of the Trade avoids this Starbreaker from DY, while Alacrity's trying to get a kill and jaunt over towards this Tiny. But one familiar, two familiar, down goes DY to the floor. And now a Rolling Thunder from JT. They're really trying to come over and get anything they can out of this. But JT now
they
swashbuckle.
can't find these heroes in the jungle, in the trees.
This is working out perfectly for them. No, nobody's getting spotted.
And he's out of the trouble. That was nicely done by Felix. So good rotation from Alacrity. Like we talked about, that he needs to have a good game, and he's having a good time. He is second on the net worth. They did every single coil usage so far has been good. They got the kill out of it. Going into Witchblade next, pretty standard stuff from Puck, but yeah. Xtreme Gaming, they wasted a lot of time not finding those kills. First Flyby hiding in the trees, then Felix.
Yeah, they got nothing out of that, and you can see this a bit of a flip-flop from the last game in terms of network at this moment in time. Dream Coil again, here comes Felix. Jumps in, silence with the Waning Rift, and DY. He's gonna die to Felix with 2 Blink Strikes. PYW, now what does he do? 3 heroes around, Paparazzi over to the side, PYW chased by Alacrity. They've got Ghost, so maybe they can kill off this Puck while Felix off screen ends up dead. Roche might do it. Ooh. Just jaunting away, misses. And now the arrow missing. Ghost really wants to go after Alacrity, but he goes up there to defend him if they do continue to chase.
We see the lack of stuns on Xtreme Gaming. Paparazzi will find him.
Avalanche toss. See you later, Alacrity.
They need Tiny to control this Puck. He was on to Ricky, did use the fall combo, used another Avalanche just to be able to get the kill from it, and yeah. Getting closer to his Blink Dagger, 600 gold away, level 9 on Tiny. So combo almost maxed out.
Top tower is under attack.
This next fight, Solar Guardian will be available, so gotta be careful against that. It's a good way to counter Dream Coil. Sometimes Puck does not have enough damage when there's a Solar Guardian on top of it.
Right.
There was a time when like Dawnbreaker plus Puck was a really solid opening coming into TI, and even during TI, Smoke's gonna break.
Paparazzi throws an Avalanche, then a toss, Solar Guardian. Oh, Alacrity! He's dead. Supernova. This is not going to get off just by a second short. DY with a double kill on this Dawnbreaker all of a sudden, and now level 7. Solar Guardian helps to get that kill on Alacrity. Dream Coil this time coming up empty.
They got nothing out of it. Paparazzi used Avalanche on 3. That was beautifully executed. They have Observer Ward near Radiant Outpost that is scouting things out, gave them vision, but not enough silence. This is also like 2.5 second silence. JT thinking about that solo kill, but not gonna commit.
Felix gonna stay invis in the Seeds of Serenity. It's probably all warm in there. It's like a hot spring when you place those down, and it rejuvenates you. So Felix may be ready to fight again, and we'll see how much pressure they want to try and put over bottom, as these creeps now get cleaned up pretty easily with the Celestial Hammer burner.
One hero we didn't talk about is Ego. He did finish off his Armlet. Orb of Corrosion is available. He's ready to go. He's 0-0-0, your classic life stealer game where you do nothing for 15-20 minutes. Once he picks up Deso, he's going to be ready to take some fights.
Do you think that they're leaving him too free here for Xtreme?
Well, they don't have that hero that Lifestealer's really afraid of. Tiny does have like instant stun, but there's no real follow. Maybe with an arrow, I think it's difficult to kill this Lifestealer.
Tiny getting spotted here under this ward vision, so they're going to know he's got that blink. Should not come as any surprise to these heroes that he'll make the jump. So not really able to make like a blink debut, right?
He does have a Tumbler Stoid. 30 minutes into the game, you would assume Mid Tiny does have a Blink Dagger. Observers scouting them out.
Again, watching DY go to the high ground.
They caught a glimpse of it. We'll get the D ward.
There it is. And a double damage for their troubles of getting a ward. That is perfect timing. Should mean that this tier 1 tower drops. They do have the glyph, but let's see. Are they going to stay on it?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Seems like they're respecting Puck's Dream Coil, Phoenix Supernova, slightly placed behind. They have not the best way of protecting the egg birds from flyby. But now they're gonna come back in with that double damage on Tiny. After seeing 2 heroes bottom, after seeing Ego showing on the top lane. Pango does have a free farm. JT doing a really good job. 6,000 net worth on him going into Guardian Greaves next. He wants to tank up. Combine that with Solar Guardian, it's a lot of sustain. But we still haven't seen this Pango in action.
It really does seem like every offlaner just going Guardian Greaves, and you can see Visage making the same.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Guardian Greaves in Flyby's future. He's got the mech recipe in his stash, so that'll fly out and he'll have the mech ready to go. You're thinking about going mid just a second ago.
15-minute mark, which means that Ricky wants to buy a shard. Managed to get some farm. Again, what's the combo with the Sleeping Dart?
Another Sleeping Dart?
They only have one. Maybe stun into birds, into Puck, silence. It's just like not something wow.
Right. It's not flashy. And that might really... Honestly, at this point in the game, if they're able to get the Sweeping Dart on, say, the Tiny jumping in, I feel like that at least stops the burst damage coming out from Paparazzi, right?
Sure. It also stops him from blanking out because you get damage at the end of the Sleeping Dart.
Dire are scanning.
So, yeah, wake damage 150, and that might keep him close. Paparazzi, Avalanche, Toss, Arrow, Sword Guardian, and there it is! Alacrity just blown up.
Paparazzi does have Invis to work with for the next fight, so maybe they're gonna try to go for Ego. This
JT.
could potentially be a kill on him if Tiny uses Invis.
JT, it feels like he was trying to like bait the rage with the Rolling Thunder, and actually now just the silence. Arrow comes in, that's gonna hit a creep. They've got the Sunray. Assassinate flies over, and that Assassinate is not gonna do enough damage, but Felix now infested. They'll look to get the kill onto the Ricky and pull the Life Stealer out of him, and they've pulled the life out of him, and now they've got Ego in their hands. Avalanche toss, Ego's dead, Supernova not in time, and it's gonna pop as well. JT with a double kill, perfectly done by Xtreme Gaming.
Their damage is pretty limited. Like Ricky, he doesn't deal damage, he wants to be annoying. Rest of the team needs to do it. Lifestealer still not ready to take a fight without a death, so same goes for Visage, who's not even there. Like, this is a position 5 Phoenix. Now we're gonna see Xtreme Gaming start to put some more pressure. This is where their lineup is really good at.
Right, so this should be a jumping off point for them, and we'll see how Xtreme Gaming kind of go about it. That Invis rune obviously helping the movement there was very good, but the response from Knights has been super limited. They haven't exactly done anything except, like you said, like the panel said, get Ego to 20 minutes and hope he has the farm to fight back.
It's just a difficult lineup to execute. Like, you don't have that real initiator that's gonna jump in. They're good at when they group up with the egg, with the Supernova. You know, Puck, a lot of silences.
Puck might be caught again.
He got him.
Into the Arrow, Starbreaker, the lockdown's there, but the phase shift and Alacrity, Illusory Orb, jaunting not far away, forced to pop that Dream Coil. Oh! Survives with 40 health.
Boss. Ooh, not gonna go for it.
Can he line up the Arrow? Alacrity juking, he's jiving and surviving.
I think Pango could have connected his Rolling Thunder if he went the other way around, but he gets away. We see the power of PYW. It's an old school build on Mirana, going for the Yule Scepter.
Lotus Orb next. Might take some time, but I mean, really, PYW's got everything he wants, right?
Pretty much. It's a save against Puck. Another arrow.
Yeah, that means a dead XCJ, and, well, no Phoenix. He's not exactly having the most fun game. 0-4-2, and he's had multiple
Dire's
supernovas
top tower is under attack.
scrambled already.
Playing into Sniper and Marana can be sometimes difficult. Robo found by Sniper. Pupil's Gift for Pango. I don't think you can ask for better items. Pango definitely loves Pupil's Gift. Extra 300 HP,
Sweet.
extra mana.
Silent Solar Guardian. The damage, though, is more than the Solar Guardian produces. Starbreaker not going to do anything as the Rage is popped by Ego. They've got themselves the Celestial Hammer on top of this Puck. Goes into a phase shift and will end up dead, so they'll trade a little bit and look for more Assassinate hits on Felix Chauba, who's been infested by Ego. They're not thinking about going back in, are they?
They don't have the damage. These two supports, they're really not doing much. Full Guardian Greaves done on Flyby. And save the 1,000 gold. Going into Aghanim Scepter next.
So having the Silent as the Grave ability. How do you feel about that, Alex?
It's a good for like picking people off. Playing with Ricky, I think this is their plan. Like in Fast Bomb.
They found themselves the Pangoeer, and, well, should have the damage this time. It's not enough. Shield crashing and swashbuckling up onto the high ground. Go to the Moonlight Shadow. They look over for more. DY has a double damage and might chase if he can find a Celestial Hammer Starbreaker combo.
Both supports on Xtreme Gaming trying to get Lotus Orb as their items. I would prefer if one of them gets a Force Staff. Against Ricky, against the Life Stealer, probably the best item you can get. Sure, you can dispel things with Lotus, the Sleeping Dart. Man, that ability was so powerful when it was first introduced. It was 4-second duration. It was undispellable. They're like, well, good luck. The only way to protect yourself was to buy Lincolns.
So forced into spending so much cash. Now, well, not the same, and Sleeping Dart, it still feels strong.
It's a good ability.
It's just lost a little bit of its punch, right? Or a little bit more of, I would say, its brokenness. Because I feel like 4 seconds undispellable is pretty overpowered.
Most definitely.
So, we'll see if Knights can make their way back. Ego keeping up. Like, I don't think Ego's first game performance was anything, like, too amazing, but his farm was there, right? Like, he kept up the entire time.
He kept
it's just
the
tough
same
to keep
amount
up with
of
an Aegis
farm
Prophet.
as Kunkka in the previous game.
Sleep on a Sniper. That's a big issue. Solar Guardian again, but look at the damage. It's going to be enough with the Dream Coil. They'll confirm it. Ghost, well, he becomes one. They'll also get themselves DY as on the other side of the fight. XCJ's in trouble again. The Rolling Thunder not going to hit to make sure that he doesn't get the Supernova off. JT kind of fumbling there, and they're going to be forced to run away. But Illusory Orb over, and they'll leap onto the low ground. They have the Sunray. They'll get another kill. They'll take out PYW. 3 dead on the side of Xtreme Gaming as they'll sleep up JT, and they'll infest out. So popping right on top of him, the silence is there, and this should be a 4th. Looks really good for Knights.
Interesting move there from Sniper. He decides to go in with no vision whatsoever. Like, you're playing against Ricky. Those Sentry Wards, they need to be on constant cooldown. It's like, this is the power. We talked about the 20-minute mark when Lifestealer gets online, and he's ready to go.
And he's hit that critical mass, or, well, not critical mass. He's hit that entry point of, you know, really starting to hold the game. So take a look at this again. It's the Sleeping Dart with the combination of the Familiars.
Yeah, and Flyby even re-summon his Familiars just to get, like, another stun if necessary.
Didn't ultimately get there initially on Ghost. It's not needed. And then you see JT kind of...
Fight's already over.
Yeah.
Like, they lost Sniper and Dawnbreaker. They should fall back. So very annoying to play against Ricky. Right now, they will need 4 staffs. Okay, Marana changed his mind. PYW is like, we don't need that second Lotus Orb. We need a 4 staff instead. And now things are going to get slightly more difficult for Xtreme Gaming. Lifestealer with the Infest. Inside Visage, maybe. Okay, so he decided to go for right pack before finishing off his Ags. So he can play with Ricky. Ricky going for drums next. Okay, the second item on Ricky is not as impactful as his Sleeping Dart. We've seen different builds like Lotus Orb, Ether Lens, and some drums pickups.
Yeah, you literally just big impact of 15 minutes. What can I do next? And that's with that Swooping Dart bottom lane. Well, now there you have Ego, Alacrity, and Flyby with Felix scouting out. The same can be said, though, for Xtreme, as they're going to take the top tier 2. So this will be a trade of tier 2 towers.
Next big timing for Xtreme will be them getting BKBs. Tiny very close to his. Needs 1,000 gold after disassembling Echo Saber. Sniper not even going for one yet, but will definitely need it.
Yeah, he's going to finish up on a Force Staff, and then, of course, the Hurricane Pike in full. He's also trying to get the Concussive Grenade. See how much that helps him in movement.
If he gets slept, if he has a cloud on top of himself and already used Pike, sure, Grenade's good this game, but I feel like he's going to need the BKB.
They get the sleep, have the silence. Now one familiar hits. There's the Lotus Orb on top of JT. The damage on Ego with some right clicks, but he'll rage. And a 5-man smoke to follow this up from Xtreme. I feel like they don't want to let Knights away with no casualties. If they can find anything, potentially even Alacrity here down bottom. And that's ping from the Ricky as Alacrity gets away. Paparazzi just a little bit late in making this move. He won't catch this puck.
Now that puck has a Blink Dagger, with Lifestealer, you can easily jump one hero and instantly kill it. Morana does have enough gold to buy a Force Staff.
Yeah, holding it for some reason, holding that gold, and I wonder what they're really expecting, especially from PYW. The Sentry down, Felix with the Sweeping Dart, but they've got the Lotus Orb. Now they're going to go in. They go to the Rolling Thunder. JT trying to get around these heroes. They've got the Dream Coil down to the 3. The Solar Guardian up into the air. And, well, nobody dead on either side just yet, but the Rolling Thunder hits again on the Visage as well as Ego on this Lifestealer. Sunray back the other way. They go to the
big combo from Tiny.
Ego. And now the Avalanche as well as the toss. They get the kill to Alacrity. Sunray not doing enough damage. The Assassinate's not going to go off Flyby just yet, but with Ego going in, he'll rage. And, well, he'll TP out, leaving the rest of his team to die. XCJ, he'll go down. Flyby looking like he might be next because they've got the Eagles to stop the TP. Avalanche toss right on top of Flyby, making a third dead on Knights. And Xtreme, they play that fight really well.
5,000 damage done by Sniper in that fight, and he was also taking care of Tiny. 2 Force Staffs, 2 Hurricane Pikes, whatever you want to call them, used on Tiny so that he doesn't die. But good placement of Rolling Thunder from Tiny, because, not Tiny, sorry, Pango, because he went in, used the shard, and then Rolling Thunder, Sunray. They fell back immediately, and look at that Force Staff from Sniper that I mentioned, keeping him alive.
PYW, Sentry down, but Yule's used, Arrow will hit, so they should be able to get out of the Sentry range and TP out. One thing I noticed too with the Dawnbreaker, you know, hit by the Dream Coil, uses the Solar Guardian, jumps up into the air, and then comes back down without Dream Coil affecting them, but can Solar Guardian right out like that, right?
Yeah, and picking up Gem, this is a huge one. You're playing against Ricky, you don't want to lose it. He's holding even a Sentry, 2 Dusts, and a Gem. So wants to ruin Ricky.
Is there a Ricky in this game? Look at the inventory. Answer yes. Ooh, 50-50. Well, 51-49. Do you feel like the game's sitting at that as well?
After the way second fight went, I still feel Xtreme Gaming have this. If they execute like that, they need to be able to go in and out multiple times. Morana did pick up Force Staff, is holding on to Blast Rig. Blast Rig, I'd say one of the better tier 3. There's some good tier 3 items, but Blast Rig definitely, in certain situations, extremely good. They're playing like against the Lifestealer, against the Visage Birds.
7 armor is going to be nice, so PYW now working with that. There's a Grove Bow on Ghost. Flyby, I assume, has one. Yeah, he has the Cloak of Flames shipping out. There was nothing on him for the moment, and it's the Philly Stone for XCJ getting that gold. What's he going to build with it? He's going for a tome.
Wants to hit level
Radiant
12.
are scanning.
It's a very under-level Phoenix. This is almost 30 minutes into the game. Still sitting at level 11, the lowest when it comes down to levels.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo. They actually just missed him.
They saw this swashbuckle.
Dire's
It's
bottom
being pinged
tower
out.
is under
This
attack.
ward should get dewarded.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They got close to potentially seeing him, but
Oh, JT was not there. So JT is the one who's holding onto Gem right now.
not seeing anything just yet. Going back into the triangle. They're looking for a basher on JT, speaking to him. He's also got Gem and Dust ready to go, so the Dust being helped by multiple heroes. Just trying to make sure that they really don't let this Riki get away. Also want to take him out of the fight as early as possible so those sleeping darts stop, you know, flying out. Game kind of silent at the moment. Roche potentially back up in 35 seconds. Really the objective that they're waiting for. And we'll see if either team wants to go again with a smoke. Potentially make a play towards a pickoff, because I think it's really this next Roche, obviously very important. The question of who is going to get it is still certainly in the air.
Looking at some of the items coming out, the Lifestealer very close to his Basher, Aghanim Scepters. Visage needs a bit more time. Phoenix finally hit level 12. Puck going into Scotty. That's an interesting choice. Against Sniper, against Tiny, if he can like slow them down. If they wanted to get it, Lifestealer could have gotten it. He still might swap things around. We'll see.
He's looking for the Abyssal Blade at the moment. I think he wants to jump and keep himself on these heroes because they have been getting away with those 4 staffs, and they've been a bit of a nuisance, right?
I've seen Lifestealers pick up really early nullifiers, especially in European East region where Lifestealer is kind of popular as a hero. Rolling Thunder.
And he's up here on the cliff. Thinking about going to the Rolling Thunder, but just blinks down. And 35 seconds till this next Roche. It's timing out that we're going to see a big fight near this pit. Nobody getting pickoffs the way they wanted. I'm looking over to the net worth, and, you know, Ghost is at the top. And we saw for the longest time, JT was farming really well.
He has fallen off.
But, yeah, but he hasn't exactly kept that pace up, right?
He's given a lot of farm to Paparazzi and mostly Sniper. I've seen them just leave the waves, so he gets there and farms it instead. They understand what their win condition is.
Feels like it's just set on Ghost to kind of do all the work with Paparazzi frontlining. JT just needs to be a Rolling Thunder at the moment. He got the Lotus Orb, so he feels pretty protected, and he's got that Basher too. The Guardian Greaves in the Basher. And DY feels super farmed with that Lotus Orb of his own.
Let's see if this ward gets rewarded this time. It doesn't.
Rolling Thunder in with a blink. They get the kill on XCJ. But now Paparazzi on the run with BKB, but the Solar Guardian will heal him up for the moment and keep them away. Rolling Thunder about to end. Dreamflow get into the JT Hango. And now they're going to fall forward and force staff away. And Guardian Greaves get popped. Supernova over to the side. They get the kill to Felix Chabo, who's going to buy back immediately. DY burned out by the Sun Ray and the right clicks of Ego. But Alacrity's in, and Ghost is on the high ground. He's actually on the cliff. So he'll be force staff down to the low ground. Alacrity goes in with a 3-man waning rift, gets the kill on a JT. That's the gem on the deck. PYW, while he's trying to pick it up, gets slept. So he dies too. Gem into the hands of the Lifestealer. There's a familiar locking up Ghost, and they'll look for another one. This is going to be a dead Sniper, and 4 dead on Xtreme Gaming, with Roche wide open and ripe for the taking for Knights.
This is a huge fight. They just got Aegis, Shard for free, Gem for free, and the next fight, like you can see the power of this Lifestealer 30 minutes into a game where he can lock onto a target and go onto it. 2 buybacks from 2 supports inside of Knights. I thought Pango's gonna, like, he bought a lot of time, gets the Guardian Greaves off after the silence, manages to get out of trouble. I'm surprised that they did not fall back here immediately.
And PYW kind of staying nearby. Ghost goes back, and now he's on the high
Sniper.
ground.
Yeah, he's stuck.
And then Force Staff low ground. Alacrity's still nearby. It definitely felt as though Xtreme are caught out once they lose that initial fight.
Alacrity has been really playing well these fights, getting in and out. In the end, decided not to go for Scotty, which is a good choice. Instead, he finished off the full Octarine core, lowering the cooldowns on his silence, on all of his abilities, items, and going into Overwhelming Blink next.
Alacrity really showing up right now. And had to, right? Like that, again, to reiterate what the panel said, they needed Alacrity to have a good game to open it up enough for Ego. And that's what he's done at the moment. And he's given Ego a real shot of carrying the game. And we've seen and felt the damage that Ego can produce.
Yeah, and you can feel that Sniper, once he's isolated, if they get on top of him with Puck or a Lifestealer, he's in a lot of trouble. He can't really punch back. If there's a bird flying next to him, he needs to be very careful. So finished off the Silver Edge, going into BKB next. That BKB is going to be crucial. Aghanim Scepter finished on Flyby. So even more Invis now that they are holding the gem. They're going to be the one controlling the game as well. Right now there is 1 Observer Ward for Xtreme Gaming.
And it's only barely covering an area of the map where really Knights aren't going to be, because they've already taken Roche, right? Like, they're not going to be fighting up there. They're going to be taking objectives. So the Vision really not doing much for them.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They take this tier 2 over mid, and they've also got Alacrity just pushing in the bottom creep wave.
Top tower is under attack.
It's still not the easiest high ground take, right? Now you've got an Ags on the Tiny. You're going to be getting hit by the Sniper. Tree volleys coming through. You need to be careful about how you go up onto the high ground when you do, in fact, choose to do so.
Yeah, they still have a good way of defending the high ground. Tiny, as you said, disassembled his Echo Saber, finished off his Aghanim Scepter, going into Daedalus next. That's going to be a lot of damage. He's buying the Dome for himself once they hit that level 20 talent, extra 40% tree damage.
There it is. 40% grow bonus damage with Tree. And he's going Daedalus next. Just having this Chrysalis, we've seen heroes get popped by Tree Volley. Truthfully, if I got hit by a tree like that, I'd be in the same situation.
It's a lot of damage. Gotta be very careful. It's also about your positioning, using that Tree Volley, then following it up with the Avalanche Toss combo, resetting one more time with the BKB. They need that tiny damage in a fight. Like their front line is okay. I think JT has been doing a good job baiting a lot of these spells, getting the shield crash off, soaking up so much damage, and then getting out of the trouble with the Guardian Greaves or the roll-up.
Trickster Cloak for the Visage, and he's gonna hold it. He just gets harder and harder to kill, doesn't he?
He's very tanky with that Raid Pact, reducing damage from Tiny and Sniper. And now having evasion plus some extra magic resistance. It's not like he doesn't have enough of that damage reduction anyway. And going into Hex, so this is going to be their way of initiating from invisibility. This is a huge timing once Flyby gets it.
Certainly massive. DY, I mean, they know where he's at. And they're going to make a jump here on a JT. He rolls up, but, well, he's going to curl up and die. Felix goes down to Ghost. They're trying to get away from the hands of Knights as, Aeon Disc, I believe, gets popped on the Phoenix. And they've gone to the back lines. They've got Paparazzi. They'll get the kill onto the Tiny, and Ego is here with everybody needed to finish him off. This is awful for him.
Yeah, JT could have survived there. He does have a buyback, however. If he used the Swashbuckle after roll-up instead of trying to go for, I don't know what he was thinking, Rolling Thunder or the Blink, And now off to a high ground. Still 15 seconds left on that Aegis. And big pickup from Lifestealer, holding on to Flicker. So he's not going to be disarmed by this Pangolier. He does have a BKB of his own, which is on cooldown for now.
So there goes the Aegis, and that means Sniper's going to try and hit away, but the Force Staff snaps the Dream Coil.
Triple Force Staff.
Force Staff back into the well. DY's going to die here. They've got buyback available on the Dawnbreaker. Supernova committed on that. They get the tier 3 tower, and all of a sudden, Knights, they're up 9K, and they have taken the high ground, at least opened it up for now. JT with the Rolling Thunder. That's going to hit onto Alacrity. They've got the arrow to follow it up. Here comes the Sword Guardian,
bonk.
and slams it down onto Alacrity. Caught in the corner. That doesn't just happen in combat games. It happens here in Dota too. You get corner jumped.
They got something out of it. It's a big kill. Did they lose the barracks? No, they didn't. They saved the barracks, 100 HP on melee ones with the buyback on DY only. And you can see how afraid they are of this Puck plus Lifestealer combo. Triple Force Staff on Sniper to get him out of the trouble.
If that Force Staff was a Lotus Orb, he wouldn't be here right now. It's good that he made that change on the Mirana. Now going Hex too on PYW.
It's another way of locking down the heroes. PYW is extremely farmed.
Bit of a tree volley there, and we didn't really see that. Paparazzi, of course, being dead for a lot of that. Now they smoke his 5. They're feeling confident to try and take another fight. No Supernova for 35 seconds, and Xtreme, they got their hands on a gem. It's XCJ's gem. Let's see what they get out of this, and they've got nothing. At least for right now, they're going to continue to farm. Ghost level 22, he's looking for an MKB. Has the Mjolnir, has Silver Edge, Hurricane Pike, the Shard. He's quite farmed, and kind of keep it up with Ego, who on the other side of it has finished off the Abyssal and the AC now.
Ghost needs one fight where he is not touched, where they have a really good front line. Tiny with the tree wally, using that multiple times. They're on a hunt.
Dire's bottom tower
Not
is
going to
under
find
attack.
Paparazzi.
Another Eon disc available on Puck. Needs to unlock it. I saw Ricky also going for one, so they already have 2. We'll have a 3rd one. So that's a good way of protecting against potential instant burst that they can do once Mirana also gets that Hex that we mentioned. And she's like one big fight away from it.
Yeah, speaking of Hex, though, there's one on the Visage now. So you need to be very careful about how you initiate if you're Xtreme Gaming. And double damage, oh, bottom. Double damage has just come out at the perfect time.
Lifestealer would pick it up, but he's infested. He's inside of Alacrity.
Not too bad on the Puck either.
He also has Spell Prism on the Puck, because why not? All that CDR with Octarine Core.
Ghost. He spotted the Hex immediately onto the Dawnbreaker. They go to the Dream Coil on the back over the BKBB Papa. They've got the Abyssal Blade. Ghost is in trouble. There's the Supernova right on top of this Sniper. Tree Volley's doing no damage. JT on the run. The Supernova will pop. JT will TP out. The rest of the team's going to get out of dodge. Everybody escaped. The only one running without a TP right now is PYW. After all is said and done, that's not awful from Xtreme Gaming.
They only lost DY, but he does not have buyback for 70. Good way to disengage a fight. Still, they need to be holding the high ground. I don't think they can afford to take a fight outside of the base.
So does that mean they're just conceding the next Roche?
If they're positioned on the high ground, Tiny, like where the usual spot is, where the Sentry Ward from Knights is, like they can maybe use the full combo from Tiny with the tree wally, but they need some vision, and they have not been holding the gem. They lost their gem relatively early on, and when you play against Ricky, that can be a bit tricky.
Oh, you saw that? So close. Familiars milliseconds away from stopping that.
Okay, they do have a gem on JT again.
JT. Did he get XCJ's gem? Yeah. And he's got an Aeon disc now. Ags. Ooh, boy. They need to get over there. They need to stop this. I don't know if they're not exactly taking it that quickly at the moment.
They're thinking about it. They're like, can we actually do it? Paparazzi, let's see his positioning. Near the high ground for the tree volley. Grenade is there. They're cutting things out with shrapnel.
See that Roche is down to half health.
Daedalus is available. Yeah, this is the spot right there for Tiny. They also placed an observer ward, so they're gonna see things. One observer dropped down by Knights. Gonna get instantly devorted. Okay, he gets it. UIW actually kills it.
Shadows, take us.
So Moonlight Shadow to try and get in there, but there's a sentry down in the perfect spot for the side of Knights. Arrow flies across. There's a smoke on 3 heroes and really a 4th with the fact that they're infested inside Alacrity, who's now level 25. So he's got that Dream Coil Pierce, his match community. The BKB here for the Sniper's not going to work out too well, but the Aeon Disc, it's going to be activated. They've got the Tree Volley, not doing any damage.
Arrow misses.
Supernova goes and gets placed, and PYW is going to die, but they get the Supernova and popping. They look over at Sniper, the Dream Coil is in, they'll snap in with a 4-staff. Ooh, the concussive grenade to get away, and now they're on the backlines. Alacrity's going for Ghost. He's looking to get the kill and finally takes on the Sniper, but Avalanche tossed the Aeon Disc again here for
buyback from Sniper.
They'll buy back on Ghost. They're still trying to go and get the kill on a Paparazzi. They have the Lotus Orb on him, but it's not going to matter. They get the kill. He's there for 85 seconds with no buyback. JT's in, shield crashing, rolling up. Ghost trying to output any damage he can, but DY will fall. Alacrity with the triple kill. Looking at JT and Ghost now. Yule's up into the air. They need to get the Life Stealer away from them. The right click's coming out of the Ricky, but Alacrity goes in for more. PYW's going to be silenced up thanks to the Waning Rift coming up from Alacrity.
Silver Edge in a second.
Silver Edge, but it's not going to be in
That's
time.
game.
Alacrity gets the godlike spree with Ego and gets the kill on a Ghost and JT. There's the Dream Coil down. They're going to buy back on JT. They'll get the Rampage from Alacrity and take out all of Xtreme Gaming.
He does way too much with his item build. This is where Puck, 13,000 damage. Like, he dealt more almost more damage than the whole Xtreme Gaming team combined. So you have Vanic Rift on 5.9 second cooldown, save for Illusory Orb, Overwhelming Blank on a 10-second cooldown. You go in, you know that you can't die. You have this Aeon Disc, and yeah, Xtreme Gaming. We're gonna see a game 3.
Yeah, really well done there by Knights. That last fight was perfect, and you can feel it the entire way. It was just getting there, putting the pressure on Xtreme, and then poof, it all explodes, and Knights, whew, blow up in a good way.
Xtreme, they needed to get more done at the